Welcome back everyone. In this video, we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be smoking a pork belly like a brisket in the offset smoker. So we're going to start setting our smoker up by getting a fire going. Right, so I'm going to get a couple of firelighters going on our firebox charcoal grate. And then you want to get a full chimney of charcoal or briquettes on. Then you can leave your firebox lid and your side door open so there's plenty of oxygen in there to get that charcoal started. All right, so we've got about 10 to 15 minutes before that charcoal is going to be ready, so we'll use that time to trim and season this pork belly. All right, so this piece here is about 2.5 kilos. It's still got the skin on, so we want to work on taking that off. Then we can trim any excess fat and silver skin off as well. So just turn it upside down, and you really only want to take just the skin off. We want to leave a nice even fat coverage on top. So get yourself a sharp knife and just work on taking that skin away from the meat. Alright, so we've taken our skin off. You can put that aside and make some pork crackling out of it if you want. And then our pork belly, we've got a beautiful fat coverage on top. And now I'm just going to work to take any silver skin off the bottom side. Alright, so I'm happy with that. Time to season it up. All right, so if you've got a favorite pork rub, feel free to use that, but we're going to be using a 50-50 mix of kosher salt and cracked black pepper. Then I've added some of our steak shooter seasoning into that mix just for some extra flavor. So what you want to do now is apply a binder to your pork belly. You can use olive oil or some yellow mustard. We're just going to give it a light coat in yellow mustard all over, then we'll apply our barbecue rub. All right, our pork belly is ready to go. Our charcoal's about 5 minutes away, so we can set up a few more things in our offset smoker while we've still got a bit of time. All right, so we'll open the lid to our cooking chamber. We'll take our cooking grate out. Then I'm going to lay down a drip tray underneath where our pork belly is going to go. And to stop that direct heat getting to our pork belly, I'm going to put one of our tuning plates in. Then I'll slide this part of the cooking grate across. And it's going to be hard to see, but I'm just going to feed our grill probe through the drain here. Then I can put our cooking grate back on. And I'll hook our grill probe up while we're here too. I like to use a probe on my cooking grate as it's going to give you a very accurate reading as to what's happening at grill level, as opposed to the higher readings you're probably going to get on your temperature gauges at lid level. As you know, heat rises and it's going to give you a very inaccurate reading on your lid temperature gauges. So we can shut our lid, and I reckon this charcoal should be just about ready. All right, that charcoal's looking good, so we can take that out. I'm going to put my charcoal basket in, and now we can dump our charcoal in. Then we can get a wood split on and start building a nice charcoal base to work with for this cook. So after a minute or so, once your log's caught light, you can shut your firebox door. I'll leave our firebox door wide open at this stage. I'll open up our chimney stack, then we'll get a log preheating on our firebox lid, and we'll give our barbecue 10 minutes to preheat. All right, so it's been 10 minutes, our log started to settle down, and as you can see here, we're reading just over 300 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius on our temperature gauge on the lid, and that grill level we're holding at around that 275 Fahrenheit or 135 Celsius. And then once you've got that clear or thin blue looking smoke, it's time to get the pork belly on. So we'll open our lid, we'll get this beautiful pork belly straight over our drip tray, and we'll place the thicker end towards the fire. Then we can shut our lid and let our pork belly smoke away. All right, so I'm going to look to run our smoker at around the 275 Fahrenheit or 135 Celsius range. I'm not going to delve too deep into offset smoker fire management. I've done a really in-depth video on that if you want to check it out. I'll put a link down in the comments if you did want to have a look at it. And this pork belly isn't overly thick, so I'm assuming this is going to be around a 5-hour cook. So we can just let this pork belly smoke away now, and we'll check back in once we're a bit further into this cook. All right, so we're just over 2 hours into this cook. Let's open up our smoker and have a look at this pork belly. All right, so that pork belly is looking beautiful. Have a check of our internal in the thickest part. Around 165-ish Fahrenheit or 74-ish degrees Celsius. Our bark's looking nice. I reckon we can wrap this up. We'll take it out, and I've just got some butcher's paper here. So we'll lay it down. I'm going to give it a nice spray with some chicken stock. Then we can wrap it up nice and tight and get it back in the smoker. All right, now our pork belly's back in. We're just going to let that smoke away until we've hit an internal temperature of around 200 Fahrenheit or 93 degrees Celsius. So if you want to hook up a meat probe in the thickest part of your pork belly, go ahead and do that, and we'll be back once we've hit that next stage. All right, our pork's been wrapped up for 2.5 hours now, so we're about 4.5 hours into this cook. I'm finally happy with how it's probing, and we've hit that target internal temperature, so let's have a look. All right, so that probe just has no resistance when I'm feeling around in there. That is super, super soft. So let's get this out. All right, so our pork belly's out. I'm just going to let that rest at room temperature for half an hour. I find you don't really need to give pork belly those big long rests because there's so much fat in there. So while that's resting, I'm going to get a few other things ready to serve this pork belly with. All right, so our pork belly's had a nice little rest, so let's cut it open, have a look, and then we'll have a taste. All right, now it's time for a taste. Wow. Just, wow, that is amazing. Oh my God. I'm a little bit lost for words. That is just so unbelievably good. But what I'll do next is show you how I'm going to serve it up. All right, so here we've got a toasted white corn tortilla. I'm going to lay down some pickled cabbage. Then we'll lay down a slice of this beautiful pork belly. Then I'll put some finely diced shallots over the top, a little bit of coriander. I'll finish it with some jalapeno mayo, squeeze of fresh lime, and that's ready to eat. All right, now it's time to taste. Man, there's so much to love about that. The fresh, zingy, pickled red cabbage, that beautiful, tender, flavoursome pork belly, and a nice little spice kick from that jalapeno mayo. Now that pork belly has got to be one of the best, most tastiest things I've barbecued in a long time. That cook is going to be one to remember, but for now, that's the end of the video. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.